Hello and welcome to Biharibackbenchers. There are certain events in the history of mankind that has completely changed the lifestyle of human being. Industrial revolution is one of the prominent ones. So let's understand what was industrial revolution. To understand this, let us understand what do we mean by revolution. Any event which brings a huge amount of change in almost all spheres of life, that is, social, political, and economic, is called a revolution. Can you name any other form of revolutions? Please mention it in the comment box. Where did the Industrial Revolution take place for the first time? It took place in 17th and 18th century for the first time in Europe, and to be specific, in Britain, the country which made India her colony for nearly 350 years. What happened in Industrial Revolution? As we know by the definition of revolution, something huge must have changed, and by word industrial, we may understand that the industries have a major role to play in this change. Therefore, in Industrial Revolution, there was a shift from small-scale, manpower-based cottage industry to large-scale industrial production. Now, the goods were made faster and cheaper. Mass production was one of the major characteristics of Industrial Revolution. Since goods were made faster and cheaper, therefore, a large number of goods can be made and therefore the market was flooded with these goods. Industrial Revolution led to the rise of many other discoveries too. Initially in Europe, God was present at the center of all events happening, which means all things happening were taken as action of God. Maybe it war, flood, poverty, etc. King was considered as the agent of God, so nobody questioned his decisions. Church had very dominant role in society. Poor common people were oppressed and had to give all the taxes without any questions. They feared God and therefore they feared church as well as king. But certain scientific revolution and enlightenment took place. Among those, one of the major discoveries was stated by Charles Darwin in his theory of evolution. He discarded the theory of Adam and Eve, which Christians believed. In his theory of evolution, he said that man has evolved with time. It was from a sea creature that man has taken today's form. He was not made by God. He proved it. And man started to use their reason and brain to question all the events they found. Lastly, they came to the conclusion that man is at the center of everything and not God. Following this, many scientific discoveries and inventions were made in Europe during 18th and 19th century. The two major discoveries which led to Industrial Revolution are spinning jenny 1764, second steam engine 1769. Kindly mention in the comment box the name of the inventors of spinning jenny and steam engine. Earlier, the clothing industry called textile industry was based on manpower. That is, labor used to weave the clothes. But now, machines, that is spinning jenny, used to weave the clothes much faster using the power provided by the steam engine. Similarly, many other inventions took place which made the lifestyle of man easier, like ships. Ships were built which used machine engine. As a result, voyages were made easy. They were used for the exploration and collection of cheap raw materials from far away lands. Now let's know what was the impact of Industrial Revolution on Europe. Industries were set up in the cities. As a result, the process of urbanization took place. Poor farmers from villages migrated to cities in search of jobs. Agriculture no longer remained profitable because they had to pay heavy taxes. Therefore, to continue their livelihood, farmers and peasants moved to the congested cities. Condition of living of these poor farmers were very bad in city. They lived in slum and their water and sanitation facilities was very bad here. As a result, we may also see that Industrial Revolution is the cause of rise of the slum. Low wages were paid to laborers in order to enhance the power of the industry owners. This is the way the industry owner earned their profit. They minimized the cost of production and the margin in the selling price were the profit of the industrialists. Fast machine-made products flourished the market. Nobody now relied on handicrafts, and as a result, small handicrafts weavers were declining. Production became cheap and fast. Cities were crowded with laborers, including women and children. Children and women and men were forced to work in the hazardous condition. No security were provided for the laborers. They lived a pathetic life. Pollution of different forms started polluting cities like never before. The air quality declined. Need of raw materials to increase production was felt. As a result, these industrial countries started making colonies in far African and Asian nations. Now let's understand the impact of Industrial Revolution on India. India was famous for its handicrafts and textile industry, especially cotton clothes. British initially came to India as traders who purchased these cotton clothes and sold them very costly at Europe. This is how they made profit. But when industries were set up, the demand for Indian clothes declined sharply. The Indian weavers were completely destroyed. New Britishers wanted cheap raw cotton from the industries of India. The Britishers wanted raw cottons for industries from India. Therefore, they forced the Indian farmers to grow cotton on their land. Now, Britishers wanted cheap raw cotton for their industries from India. They also used India as a huge market for their finished products and earned profit from here. As a result, Indian grew poorer while British, using Indian resources, got wealthier. The industries came to India very late when Indians realized the importance of industries and how the Britishers had already drained their wealth outside the India. Therefore, Industrial Revolution led to the penetration of democracy in Europe, where mankind understood that human is at the center of everything, and traders started to have their say in the country's economy. The power of king and the church declined while the common capitalists and traders increased. At the same time, in India, the feeling of nationalism was aroused when Indians came to know that Britishers were exploiting them through their industries' cheap made goods. They came under a head to fight against Britishers. As a result, Indian national movement took place. Now you can answer some of the question. How did this happen? Any idea? Think about Indian national movement. Do you know what is second industrial revolution? Do you know what is current industrial revolution 4.0 going on in India? Please mention if you have some ideas in the comment box. Thank you for watching the video. Stay tuned and give your suggestions in the comment box.